Shalom, shalom. A real Hebrew Israelite coming week in, week out to prophesy the downfall of America in this society. I want to start out giving all praise and glory and honor to YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, Rakakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders and GMS and brothers that sincerely doing this work, and the few sisters that are listening and learning and being obedient to their husbands. This the brother YAHAWASHI, aka Matthias, and I'm coming back with another quick video. And basically, I'm about to play on this video with, you got to understand a lot of Jakes that's here, that was already here in America. They not the Southern Kingdom, they Northern Kingdom, either from Gad or Reuben, But, you got to understand, listen to the breakdowns and all of that to really know these things. Of course, they don't fully understand the truth. We not expecting these people out here to understand the truth like us. It's not meant for everybody. It's only meant for the elect. But, for us, we know how to cipher through these things and break it down. So, I'm going to let this video play. Hold on.
Descendant in my... I have no African descendant in my blood. I'm a Native American. So literally, I'm a Cherokee, I'm a Blackfoot, I'm a Red-tailed Indian. That's what's in my blood. A lot of people in America is indigenous people. You're not from Africa, American at all. My folks is not from Africa. And a lot of people in this room, folks, are from Africa.
What culture do you consider yourself a part of?
I am Cherokee Native American, born here in Virginia. I have no African heritage whatsoever and no African relatives. I am all Cherokee Indian.
How come?
You probably are too.
Well, why do you say that?
Because Cherokee, the Indian is black, actually. It's the same people that Columbus met when he got off the boat. We are not African. This is Richmond, Virginia, where the first 20 slaves landed. There's no record of any other slaves landing here. Those 20 Africans that landed here were on a boat that was hijacked by Portuguese. The real black slaves here were Portuguese. Most of the slaves in this country were actually white, not black.
I have no African descendant in my blood.
Oh yeah, like we understand, we cipher through the things and break down, because to be honest, the first slaves that was on the slave ships was the Northern Kingdom, hands down. They was the first one to get on them slave ships. But the Southern Kingdom got on it later. So we understand that a Cristobal Colon came over here and enslaved these people, because they all was called? They was all calling themselves black, dark-skinned people, So, this again, get the understanding of that. The scriptures tell you about that. The 10 tribes that came over here first, and they inhabit this land and all of that. So, give me 1 second, get that. So I'm gonna go ahead and read this. I'm probably start at 39. I'm gonna just try to get straight to the point. But this is 2nd Exodus 13 and 39. And whereas thou showest that he gathered another principal multitude unto him, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Osiah the king, which this is proof, they was being put in slavery then, but then they had to escape, to head over to this land, what you would call America today. We'll keep going. Whom Salmon, the king of Assyria, laid away captives and carried them over the waters, and so came unto another land, which was, we talk about over here. But I wanted to get the name, what they called it before they called it America. I think it's up here. Oh, let me see. Give me 1 second. I got to keep reading, my bad. I don't know why this ain't highlighted, though. And it says, and carried them over the water, and so came into another land. But they took this counsel amongst themselves that they will lead the multitude of the heathen and go forth in a further country wherein never mankind dwelled, because nobody never dwelled over here. They just, will come over here and get gifts and stuff like that, like it says in the scriptures, the peacocks and all of that, when Solomon used to sit in the men. And it says that they might there keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land, and they unto Ephraim, hold on, and they enter into Euphrates by the narrow place of the river, for the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the floods till they were passed over. For though that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, in the same region. The same region is called Asterisk, and that's what it was called before they called it America. So when you see a lot of Jakes out here, man, you really see a bunch of Reubenites. Cause when I was in, recently in Champaign, Illinois, to see the men that I oversee over there, because I was visiting them, to make sure everything is straight. We try to go over there as much as we can, try to go to Champaign, Illinois as much as we can, just to check on the bros over there. And we went out to a little spot, and I was saying, these are a bunch of Reubenites. These are a bunch of Reubenites, because Reuben will be the so-called Cherokee Indians, That would be your Reubenites. The so-called Native Americans are your Gadites. So I was looking, I'm like, man, these are a bunch of Reubenites right here. These people don't even know. Like you would think that they Judah and stuff like that, because they look, but no, they really a bunch of Reubenites. They not no Judites, So this is let you know that the scriptures are very real. Cristobal Colon, he knew the scriptures before he even came over here. He understood, because like it said, it take a year, 1 year and a half. So back to back, that's 3 years. That would make 3 years, a year and a half there and a year and a half back, and that's how you know the scriptures don't lie, that this is on point. But a lot of people don't know this, because what happened, we lost our heritage, all type of things. We wasn't keeping our customs like we were supposed to, like it says right here in Jeremiah 17 and 24. 17 and 4. And thou even thyself should discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemy in a land which thou knewest not, for ye have kindled a fire in my anger which shall burn forever. Exactly, we serving our enemies to this day. So a lot of our people don't even know this, man, because they don't do history. They don't look up this type of history and understand that Cristobal Colon, that's his real name, Christopher Columbus, was enslaving these people and putting them to death and all type of stuff when he came over here. And he snaked these people, man, and stole their land. They just robbed them, and that's exactly what happened, man. So they was robbed for their thing, and this is who you see, When you look at these people, like, man, you start looking at them for real, like, man, these ain't nothing but a bunch of Reubenites, man. Or you'll see a few Gadites, but you'll be like, man, a lot of them be a bunch of Reubenites, man. Wild as hell, unstable, crazy, ready to fight. Some of them cool as hell, talk to you, very genuine people, Hey, man, but they be unstable as hell, But this is how through history. You have to be able to cipher through these things. This is why it's very important to Study these scriptures. We study them. Study to show yourself approved, man. You know? You have to go into this, man. You can't just think you're gonna learn this overnight. No, you have to really put in the work. Like here, this is 2 Timothy 2:15. Study to show thyself approved unto the most high power of God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. So you have to study, you have to really understand to teach this truth directly and correctly, which is rightly divide going to. Teaching the truth on point, understanding what you teach and understanding what you're bringing out, and which a lot of people don't really understand because they don't do no research. If you did research, then you wouldn't know this. So, and it makes sense. Waka Flocka ain't nothing but a damn Reubenite. He ain't nothing but a Reubenite. Wild as hell, crazy, ready to fight, tough as hell. I seen him get into some fights. Wild, he'll take a couple hits. It don't even phase him, and he ready to knock somebody out. And I say, you seen videos him knocking and clearing somebody, you know, straight goon. But you know that's how them Reubenites are, you know. Man, so you just have to understand these scriptures, man. You got to understand what you're teaching, what you're learning. A lot of these people are unlearned. But let me get that scripture proving that year and a half there and back when they was getting them precious peacocks and stuff. So this was the navy of Hiram, you know. This 1 Kings 10:22. For the kings had at sea a navy of Tarshish with the navy of Hiram. Once in 3 years came the navy of Tarshish, bringing gold and silver and iron and ivory and apes and peacocks. So these were Solomon men. So King Solomon exceeded all the kings of the earth for riches and for wisdom, because they knew about that. This is how Cristobal Colon, or Christopher Columbus, who y'all want to call him, knew that it was people already over there. They knew the scriptures. They read it. They read Esdras. They understand the 10 tribes that escaped, that dipped out, that was trying to get away from here. You know, you got to understand the scriptures. You have to study these things. If you don't study, then you ain't gonna know. So this is how you filter through the holes, because you know, a lot of people don't understand, man, the holes into these things. And if you don't understand that, then you will never understand the truth. You have to understand the truth. And this is why we always stick to teaching the truth, breaking these scriptures down correctly. Because a lot of these people don't know the Bible. You can read the Bible all day. Does that mean you will understand the Bible? Hell no. You don't just understand the Bible just by reading it. You have to pray for understanding. And then the Lord got to give you understanding. Because you can read all day and think this Bible is universal when it's not for everybody. The scriptures clearly tell you this. It's only for the Israelites. It's not no spiritual thing. This ain't nothing changed. The Lord don't change. Simple as that. He only for his people, you know. So you got to know that, man. But these people don't know that, and they don't study these things. They don't go dig into these things. So then you don't know anything. You just out here looking lost and got your mind far up somebody's ass instead of actually knowing what's going on and what's true and what's not true. Because you will never understand what's true and not true if you don't listen to the men of the Lord. We out here giving out all this history, straight facts on everything, breaking it down, letting you know, showing you, talking about the different captivities we've been in. You have to talk about the 7 major captivities. They don't even go into these things. None of these people. So, man, this is just showing you, you know, more proof that we the Israelites and that the so-called natives and Cherokee Indians and the Latinos are our people. More proof, man. So it's no getting around it. The speckled birds and all of that, man. Ain't no getting around these things, man. You know? Simple as that. So with that, I want to give all praise and glory and honor to YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, Hashem Rakakadash. Double honor to our apostles and elders and GMS and brothers that sincerely doing this work. And a few sisters that are listening and learning and being obedient to their husband. Keep pushing and doing the work. Shalom, Barakatham, and a Baba Ball.